Good evening to you. My name is Jason Klem. I am a Senior Assistant Director of Admissions and Regional Coordinator out of the Washington, D.C. area for Trinity College in Hartford, Connecticut. I'm actually excited to be talking to you now from campus. I'm on campus connecting with my team and assisting with move-in day. Although I did get an update this morning that move-in day might be adjusted because of the storm we're having here. So unfortunately, you can't control the weather, but I know everyone's very excited to be back on campus here. I'm here to talk to everyone about diversity and inclusion in U.S. colleges, and really why this is so important to becoming a global citizen, and why we value diverse perspectives. So I really want to talk to you about, I guess, three things today. One being that the U.S. really wants international students to feel welcomed on our campuses, and I would also say I'm going to talk to you a bit about why diverse perspectives are so important. They foster a level of critical thinking that we determine to be valuable for solving some of the world's most pressing problems right now. And then lastly, why it is so important to engage with folks who have differing perspectives than you do, despite how challenging that can be. It's a very valuable skill to practice. So starting off with why we feel why we want students to feel welcome, and really emphasizing that this is a goal and a priority to the U.S. It's definitely very exciting. It was celebrated around our admissions counselor community to hear the presidential administration come out about a month ago and really claim this recommitment to international students seeking out an education in the U.S. I know we've had a bit of a rocky past, and this won't always be the case. And sometimes the country's presidential administration might not be in sync with the U.S. college system in our community of admissions counselors. But it's definitely exciting when the presidential administration and the country as a whole are in line with our counselor community in what we're communicating and how we're trying to communicate with students about the value of seeking out an education in the U.S. And again, I really think that this presidential administration is acknowledging this commitment to international students because of that acknowledgement of the diverse perspectives that are brought. So talking a little more about critical thinking and why diverse perspectives will foster that. We in the U.S., and I would say probably all over the world, but especially in the U.S. and especially at liberal arts colleges, we don't see college as just a place to get an education, but really a place to learn, to grow, and above all, transform. Really develop into someone who can go out confidently into the world and connect. Form strong connections with others and work collaboratively together. And we think that students transform best by gaining these diverse perspectives. I'll give you a little bit of an example about how we do this at Trinity. We certainly take great pride in being in a capital city. So in the city of Hartford, Connecticut, and that allows students to not just connect with other students, not just connect with faculty or staff, but really connect with their community. I think this is an extremely valuable component of an education, is knowing that this isn't some isolated place where you're spending all your time in the books. You're here to learn, again, how to bring the skills that you're learning into a community, whether that be your community where you are now or a different community somewhere else in the world. But we've set up programs like our Liberal Arts Action Lab to help students connect with actual community directors in the city of Hartford who are trying to tackle some very pressing issues like youth homelessness. So students have set up an opportunity for students to understand or really the community to understand how to seek out these resources, who to turn to, and again how to try to tackle and reduce that level of homelessness. They've also worked with community directors on trying to develop just a better relationship with the city government and the community residents. So again, this is something that our liberal arts action lab program basically put out into the community and said, you know, how can we help you? What kind of students are you looking to partner with? And then using the energy and passion of our students to match them with such projects and really come out with something tangible that they can give back to the community and you know, pay it forward. So again, teaching this, you know, I shouldn't say teaching, fostering this level of citizenship and civic duty, and developing a passion in our students early on to you know, acknowledge what a community has given to them and understanding how they can best give back to their community. Again, I just think the liberal arts, you know, a liberal arts education really is so valuable in, you know, fostering how to think on your feet, how to communicate better. I like to share an example of this you know, past few years or year and a half of the shifting to a remote world. You know, communicating how we are now via Zoom instead of in person. And you can consider how, you know, there are a number of different disciplines that go into play that made, you know, this kind of communication and this kind of collaboration possible. You know, there's certainly science, which will help us provide, you know, more and better tools. But then there's also policy to help with the distribution of that technology. And then you have the economic implications of who partners with whom and when. And you have the you know, history or the historical context of why certain areas may have less access to technology. And then, of course, I mentioned before the communication skills to convey that you know, benefits of certain technology. So you can see how it isn't, you know, going and studying one discipline may not necessarily equip you to think on your feet. So really understanding the benefit of an interdisciplinary education, and that this, you know, certainly at liberal arts colleges, but really I would say all colleges in the U.S. are trying to foster, you know, these you know, skills and attributes of students. And again, this happens best when we're having students on our campuses from all over the world. And to give you a context, you know, Trinity, I think, is putting this into play. You know, Trinity has about 13% of our students are international students, and they're coming from over 70 different countries. So students really are interacting, you know, not just with students in neighboring states, but from students all over the U.S. and from students all over the world. And that's the kind of community that we're looking for, and that's the kind of you know, that's what we want students from around the world, certainly in India, to comprehend the value of the different perspectives that you bring. I think I'll conclude a little bit with an example of how I think students can really push outside their comfort zone. Obviously, you'd be pushing outside your comfort zone by traveling, you know, halfway across the world to gain an education, to gain a college degree. But I think that a specific example of how I see this at Trinity is through this program called One Small Step, where we actually pair students with other students who have drastically differing perspectives as them. So it's very much you're going to be communicating with someone who may not think or share similar beliefs as you. And what we do is we have students talk about, you know, something other than politics, other than something that might be controversial, that they're not necessarily going to agree with. And that sort of forms this common humanity, this sense of, you know, we're all in this together, and for the most part, we're all trying to solve these same problems. And this program really tracks these unlikely friendships that students have formed from this program. And I just think that's such an exciting opportunity for students to understand that students, staff, professors, folks who they might have a drastically differing, you know, differing perspectives than, the ability to understand folks who think so differently than you helps you gain a better understanding of the world, and really makes you a better collaborator. It sets you up to go into any environment and be an efficient teammate and collaborator. So again, please know that the U.S. very much is interested in these diverse perspectives, especially in liberal arts education. We think this really fosters your ability to think quickly on your feet and be a better communicator, and pushing yourself outside your comfort zone and engaging with those diverse perspectives will help you be a better global citizen. So thanks so much for hearing from me today. Look forward to connecting with some of you in the future. I'm gonna pass the baton off now and answer any questions you might have later on.